Good morning, Haxi. And as you said, it's snowing. It's very cold out here now. This year's World Economic Forum takes place against the most complex geopolitical and geo-economic backdrop in decades, in the words of its organizers. Now, the wars in Gaza and Ukraine are at the top of people's minds, but rapid advances in generative AI, climate disasters, and a slowing economy are also big concerns. Now, key stakeholders in these crises are attending this summit, including Israel's President Isaac Herzog, Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdelrahman Al Thani, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky as well. Although there's no Russian delegation once again this year. Of course, France's President Emmanuel Macron and China's number two, Li Qian, are both giving special addresses, and some tech leaders like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Sam Altman are among the speakers. More than 2,800 leaders, including some 60 heads of state and government, are attending the summit. So security is very tight. Switzerland has mobilized more than 5,000 army personnel to help the police to protect the area. We saw a small number of anti-capitalist protesters yesterday, but they were very quickly dragged off the street.
So a very, very high profile list of attendees. What's on the agenda, Yuka?
Well, geopolitical tensions, as I said, are taking center stage, but economic challenges are also high on the agenda. Now, the WEF has just released its latest survey of chief economists in both the private and public sectors, which showed that more than half of them expecting the global economy to weaken this year, and a staggering 80%, nearly 80% of them expecting weak or very weak growth here in Europe, with two wars on its doorstep. Now, artificial intelligence, as I said, is a key topic. Last week, the forum's organizers cited disinformation driven by artificial intelligence as the biggest risk facing our world over the next 2 years. And this is especially pertinent because fully a third of the global population is heading to the polls over the next 2 years in key elections, including in India, the EU, and of course, the United States. Now, this year's theme is rebuilding trust, because these global geopolitical tensions and polarization driven by misinformation are putting gains through decades of global cooperation at risk.
And Yuka, Oxfam has an inequality report it publishes from time to time. It seems to have published its latest report to coincide perfectly with the opening of Davos.
Well, Davos meetings come under a fair amount of criticism. It is true that it is where global consensus is built, where decision makers and power brokers convene, but it is also a very exclusive gathering of the global elite, with many CEOs flying in on their private jets. So when we say that the top 1% of the global population holds nearly half of global wealth, well, many of the people invited here belong to that group. So it has become something of a tradition for Oxfam to release its annual inequality report to coincide with the start of the summit. This year, the study found that the wealth of the world's 5 richest men has more than doubled since 2020, while 5 billion people, that's 60% of humanity, have been made poorer. Oxfam is warning that if current trends continue, then it will take a staggering 229 years to eradicate poverty, while we may very well see the world's first trillionaire on its way in the next decade.